Sitting on the couch with nothing better to do. Let's go watch BIKEVIDS, BIKEVIDS, BIKEVIDS. 'Cause nothing beats a rainy afternoon. When you got BIKEVIDS, BIKEVIDS, BIKEVIDS. Subscribe and like this.
Hey friends, before getting into it, I just want to give a quick shout out to the Marin County Bicycle Coalition who puts this event on. You've probably noticed at the start of BIKEVIDS episodes, I do a brief land acknowledgement. This organization is the only one I've noticed of all the events and races and things that I do that puts their own land acknowledgement on their registration page as well. So shout out, appreciate that. Just so you know, I do my simple land acknowledgement not because it's an adequate representation of the history or culture of these indigenous groups, but for me it is important when I'm out enjoying this beautiful land that things like this often take us to, a simple acknowledgement that this land is the ancestral land of different groups, and maybe it inspires one to look those groups up, to see where those indigenous people are at now, maybe to look into how this land became part of the United States, or other things like that. Hello friends, welcome back to BIKEVIDS. Here I am again at the Marin County Bicycle Coalition Dirt Fondo, the Mount Tam Epic 2024. I'm gonna film it again this year. Please watch last year's video. I feel like it was fairly boring, and maybe again, but I just kind of feel like it gives me something to do. Film for the people, for some of the people, an exclusive group of people. But one of the things last year that I got a lot of comments on was I renegade camped here at this trailhead, and I got hassled in the evening. And because I'm such a rule follower, it scared me so much I couldn't go back to sleep. But yet here I am doing the exact same things. I have changed a few things in the BIKEVIDS mobile. One thing I've done is I've put the receipt for the Dirt Fondo on my window here. It's basically a donation to like the kids and trail building, aka the community. And I know that doesn't excuse rule breaking, but sometimes there are exceptions to rules. So I put that receipt there. I also kind of fortified, while I have the window blocker up, I also kind of fortified a little bit more of the scene in the BIKEVIDS mobile. So if someone, for example, law enforcement comes, I could kind of just hide in there because I don't really want to deal with it. Oh, another receipt right here. And the BIKEVIDS mobile is so nice and clean. So what I'm basically hoping is that, one, it won't be a problem. Two, I'll be expecting a problem. So then it'll be better. And then three, it at least goes as like it did last year, where someone just said, hey, you can't stay here. And then they left and never came back. Okay, so that's the fun part. What about bikes? Yeah, let's get into that. Many of you know the BIKEVIDS motto is, remember, don't be a dick. I love dogs, but in this environment, please leash them. Here we are, folks. This event has a, a flexible starting time. It is not a race, which is nice. So you could basically start, I think, anywhere between 6 and 8:30 or so. Tried to find my friends, Bo, Jamie, Rowan. Did not see them, but last year I found them afterwards, so I'll find them. And what else is going on? There's lots of climbing on this route. It's 45 miles, but 7,400 feet of climbing. So if I sound out of breath right now, just wait till later. and it's going to be warm. Something I learned from last year was I was way overdressed because it's, you know, the Bay Area and it's chilly in the morning, but you know how it is with the climate. Shit's getting hot, so it's gonna be warm today. Let's see, we're I can't read if maybe it's 2.5 or even just 2, but 2 pieces of bike trash in 2 miles I've seen on this, I guess, fire road. So, you know, we could do better, guys. Just be mindful. They look unused. So, oh shit. See, there's 3. This is the second one of these I've seen. Third piece of trash I've seen so far. Yeah, in 2 miles, you know. It's not a good sign. Morning, by the way. Thank you. Good thing Greg's not racing today, although that dot is moving pretty fast, because if I was, I would have just left that trash behind. I like this event because I'm really unfamiliar with this Mount Tam area and the trails around here, and so doing this event coming up from Santa Cruz just gives me a chance to do some new stuff, meet some new people, and become more and more familiar with this area that deserves to be enjoyed. I'm on your left here. Remember, the trails are open to all users, people, horses, hikers, walkers, bikers, all sorts of people. It doesn't matter that there's an event this day. Someone else might be having an event, a running race, who knows? So keep your eyes open. Not for me, but maybe for others, there was kind of a, should I ride my mountain bike or gravel bike on this event? You could see here, you know, this is a pretty steep grade, and you can see kind of how fast my legs are spinning. I mean, just the gearing on mountain bikes, even though on my Haka I'm running a 1046 with a 38 cassette or chain ring. So I've got big gears on the Haka, but just, you know, mountain bikes are just, they got more gears, and they're just, the body position is just more comfortable, you know, and so that's what this ride's about for me, comfort. I would call the first set of climbs, which I'm on the moment, they lead basically to Pantole State Park, which eventually then takes you up Old Stage Road, I believe, and a bunch of various nonsense that we'll look at. But yeah, we're just kind of in this first set of climbs. I could definitely see how some people would enjoy living on this side of the bridge or in San Francisco, and having easy access to this is beautiful. How the mountains meet the bay. It's very pretty. Morning. I personally have a, I don't know, it's just, I don't know where it comes from. I really don't like San Francisco whatsoever, never have. Like, I almost can't stand being there. And then I have, you know, maybe I'm judgy, maybe about Marin, then I'm judgy, but that's much less of a issue. Loving the content so far, right? I describe BIKEVIDS as, you know, I say kind of personality driven. And like in an episode like this, it's kind of like very much so, where it's kind of just me cruising around talking about stuff. What am I thinking about at the time? Sharing it with y'all. I start with obviously my bike and making sure that the bike is in good working order. I like to show up to the event on a clean bike and then kind of start from there, also when kind of tuning it up. What I'm gonna bring if I'm camping out, all the fun stuff I want to have in the BIKEVIDS mobile. Morning. I like to, I've been having recently rice or quinoa and eggs, maybe some beans in there, and I think I'm going the right way. The more alcohol you have, the, you know, for me, the worse I sleep. Good morning. What's going on here? But I've also had weird nights where I don't follow any of the rules, and then the next day I perform great and do well. Cool. Just stopped and filled up some water, and there was someone there, I'm thinking from some kind of horse group, and I took a horse quiz to win a prize. So here's the question I missed. What do you do? What do you do when you see a horse on the trail? Is the question I missed. So you tell me, what's the answer? So I said you yield, but the actual answer is, yeah, you're right, communicate. So you let the person know, because horses are predatory animals, she said, and you need to communicate with the rider, which is the answer. And that's what I would do, but I got nervoused up. Okay. Finishing up a little nature break here. The more I ride bikes, the more I, just really enjoy going to the bathroom outside, and I think I encourage it. I'm not talking about in a, city center, but, a lot of the world is really meant for, going to the bathroom. Do it right, do it properly. But, let me know in the comments. If you haven't figured it out yet, one of the main reasons to ride bikes in the first place is to ride bikes through forests. It's my favorite place to ride. And as we're still heading up to Pantel and Old Stage Road and all that stuff, we actually get to go and spend a little brief time in some actual forest, which is one of my favorite parts. Pedal talk. My preferred pedal is the Crank Brothers Egg Beater, but on my Haka they were really giving me a hard time, so I switched over to the X-Speedo something, which is a great pedal, but the Crank Brothers takes a proprietary cleat. On my mountain bike, I've got the Crank Brothers. I had to put these cleats on this morning. I didn't do a good job of adjusting them. Yada yada yada. Ran into a few cyclocross friends on my way up Stage Road, I believe it's called, to maybe Old Railroad Road, and then eventually this descent that we'll talk about. But what? Oh, they were on gravel bikes. Respect. But they would have had a hard time coming down this one. This is, I'm going to say Eldridge. I'll look it up, and then I'm going to come back and edit this. But again, should you ride your gravel bike? Should you ride a mountain bike? comfort, this descent was, legitimately rough and fairly fast. There's actually someone that's injured. And, this, for me, given this is not a race environment or, and even if it was, maybe mountain bike would still be the right choice. This is just why I would, I felt really the DV9 was the right bike for the job. Oh, and that job is fun.
All right, y'all. This lap kind of loops around itself a bit, so you cross through some of the same areas twice, and I guess I'm kind of done with all of the climbing above Pantoll State Park, and this kind of is basically heading down to Muir Woods, I believe. And I think this section is pretty fun. I guess this is single track. We've been on like fire roads a lot of the day. I just lubed my chain. That's info you gotta know. And that's it. I don't know. It's nice doing an event ride. It's not a race. I'm stopping at every rest stop and just topping off water even if I don't really need it, because like, why not? Stopping to do video and whatnot, so yeah, it's fun.
I felt like this was an awkward trail interaction on this on this very skinny trail. Maybe it was just me. Maybe the vibe of awkwardness does not translate to the video.
Howdy.
Let me know.
Oh my gosh. Perfect.
Oh, good.
You got it?
Rose
Okay,
left.
thanks.
after that real fun descent, I would say we're getting there, folks. We're getting to the last, I would say, significant climb of the day. Wait, there's a train going by. It's kind of rare in Santa Cruz. We have a tourist train that goes through town. It's like not a real train that fucking takes you anywhere. Anyway, Diaz Ridge Trail to Miwok Trail, I would say, is the last kind of significant climb. Hot, sun exposed at this time of day, a lot of tight switchbacks.
So let's check our mileage here. 35. So about 10 miles left. Again, lots of climbing, so that 10 miles might take a while, but food. When I have been heading out lately on a harder ride, I like one of my water bottles to have coconut water in it. So one water, one coconut water. Feel like it really makes me feel good, makes my tummy feel good. I just really like it. On days like today, where I know there's, it's gonna be a hard day riding, I will have one coconut water and then one scratch high carb mix, which I've gone through all of that stuff today. Also today there's just water everywhere at the aid stations. I'm not racing, so I'm just filling up water everywhere. So either way though, that would be my game plan. Coconut water to start and the high carb, which I usually don't want. Howdy. You got plenty of room if you want to, yeah. Thanks. Nice. I don't usually like the super high carb until a few hours into the ride, but I'd rather mix it before starting instead of having to deal with the powder while out on the road.
Even though I've stopped eating McDonald's around the year 2000, even I know their motto is, I'm loving it, which is, I think, how we're all feeling right now in this episode of BIKEVIDS. I actually kind of had a bonk after this, when I'm kind of feeling like I had all my situation dialed. After getting over this climb, I actually, kind of got the bonk symptoms, some kind of chills, sweatiness, general icky feelings, and I pounded a bar and had a gel and got back on track.
Yeah. Do you get off on kind of like sweaty pics, man? Yeah, these are sweaty. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. Oh, man, what a beautiful day. Oh my God, hey. What's happening? Funny seeing you guys here. But yeah.
We're expecting to see you.
Right, yeah, that's true. Okay. Technically. Okay, this is all good.
You can see that at the last little rest stop, I caught up with Bo and Rowan. Rowan is a young lad. Don't know how old you are. Sorry. But their route, they did the shortest route, but it was still over 3,000 feet of climbing. So that's a great day out on the bike. And now what's left is just another little climb back to the staging area.
Okay.
Sitting out a party, everybody's flying. You never been too sly, yeah. Look at you wordy.
over there.
Yeah. I don't know, you're about the same speed as me there for a second.
Yeah. I'd be smoked if I was shooting that way.
Clearly, Rowan captures the essence of biking and maybe bike racing at a young age. Many of us do try to go too fast,
So,
and
folks,
at the
we
end of
are
the day, we become smoked.
on the final little part, I believe. Another little climb, and then I think a pretty fun downhill on Fire Road. These bridges are pretty cool. Yeah, I just saw Rowan and Bo, so we're all good. The gang's all here. Good dog.
Yes, I did say good dog. It's not the dog's fault that you're off leash on the wrong side of the trail heading directly towards a speeding bicycle. It's the owner's fault, and although I'm ahead of Bo and Rowan on the trail at this point, as that hiker continued up the trail, Bo actually went down in avoiding crashing into the dog and into his son on this trail. And again, it's not like it's a downhill, we're going fast, but this is not an out of control environment. What makes it out of control is when people do things like that. So just be careful when you're out there. There's no need to have someone get hurt for something silly like that. And voila, as we say here at BIKEVIDS. Thank you, Marin County Bicycle Coalition, for putting on this great event. I'd love to come back next year. I had a really good time. I also enjoyed meeting up with my friends and getting to hang out here at the after thing, and then eventually heading over to their place in Corte Madera. We took a little tour of Fairfax and had some Mexican food and watched some bike vids, like not my bike vids, their bike vids, more kind of mountain bikey, Friday fails. You guys know what I'm talking about. Anyway, hope you're out riding your bikes, being safe and having fun. Ciao.
It never caught up with me.